What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. I want to talk about if this is going to be a launch day game. Now, and I also kind of want to give my just impressions on this game. This was my easily my standout game from the PS5 reveal event, and I've talked about it a little bit on Podcast Now. I wasn't like the biggest fan of Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay, I actually really loved it. I think it's one of the better games on PlayStation, but it wasn't like the greatest game of all time. When I saw the trailer for the second game, that looks like the greatest game of all time. But when it comes to it, what's going to be interesting is we got all of this stuff. Okay, we got all these announcements at the PS5 reveal event, and we got very little in terms of confirmation of what's coming out when. All right, a lot of things didn't have years, some things did. I think the closest thing that actually got something was Hitman 3, which said January 2021. So that got an official month, right? I guess Spider-Man said holiday, which I'm going to be talking about that on Podcast Now later today. So we got some things for some of these games, and obviously there were like blog posts that came out afterwards talking about some of these games being holiday games coming out, this time, that time. For Horizon, it's been pretty quiet, and I really, in my opinion, I do not think this is going to be a launch day game. Okay, I want it to be. I so want this to be a launch day game, but in reality, to be honest with you, I see the PS4 and PS5 being pretty similar. I really do in terms of when the launch when they came out. PS5, I really think the big game, the game that they're going to be relying on for to kind of take them through the holiday is Spider-Man, and I think it's probably a good decision. I think it'll actually end up working out. I don't think it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. I don't think it's going to be the biggest thing that people maybe even think it is. I see Horizon as the infamous second son of the PS4 in terms of the PS5, and not in terms of quality, because I didn't even like Seconds. I thought it was an okay game. It was a fun game to play, but in terms of was it a really, really good game? No, it was not. I guess that's just my opinion. But for Horizon, I see it more or less being that, and by that I mean Infamous came out that February, so PS4, obviously launched November of 2013, and then Infamous Second Son released in that February of 2014. That was really, they had Killzone Shadowfall, or we had Killzone Shadowfall, when it came out, but beyond that, there were obviously third-party games, right? Like I think there was the Battlefield that year. There were some things out there, but there was, in terms of exclusives, there was Killzone, there was Resogun, which I thought was the best PlayStation 4 game for at least like a full year. I thought it was better than Killzone, thought it was better than Infamous, thought it was better than a lot of games. Resogun, and I believe Contrast at the time was a PS4 exclusive, right? And that was, and obviously Contrast, and I think Resogun, they were free with PlayStation Plus, so we got those games for free. Those were the big exclusives, and I mean, those weren't the big, Killzone, I think it served its purpose. I definitely think it served its purpose. And again, I think Spider-Man is filling in for that this time. Okay, I think Spider-Man is going to be taking that spot. So Horizon, and also, I guess it makes sense. I've said for a long time, I actually going back like a year ago, I said and I made videos saying I think Horizon 2 is going to be a launch game. I think they were going to be able to fit it into that fall period because it would give them almost 4 full years from when the game came out, obviously in the February of 2017. Gaming companies tend to repeat what they do, and especially if they're successes, right? They don't oftentimes repeat them if they're failures, but if they work out for them, they're more willing to do it. And I think and by saying that, they also get very comfortable with, okay, this game came out around this time, it did really, really well, let's do it again. Also, just there's better times in the year to release things than others, right? That's general for movies, that's generally for games. There's just better times to release things versus other times, okay? Horizon, again, came out February of 2017. I think that this one is lining up to almost be the exact same thing, to be February of 2021. That way, and again, it's the same month as Infamous. It's also the same month that Horizon came out 4 years ago, but it fits that you're going to get the PS5 in November, late November. There's going to be games. There's going to be exclusives. You're going to have Spider-Man as that big one, and again, it's not going to be the big. It's like the Uncharted Lost Legacy of Spider-Man, okay? Which was great. It was a really, really good game, but it's not Spider-Man 2. It's not Uncharted 5. You know what I mean? So you're going to have that. You're going to have a couple multiplayer games. You're going to have some smaller, the indie games. You're going to have, again, like the third-party games, maybe Watch Dogs, obviously Assassin's Creed, lots of different things. And then when you're going to go into 2021, you really are going to need, because people are going to buy this no matter what at launch, okay? The biggest thing is, how do you get people to buy it afterwards? Well, you're going to need a really, really good lineup of games. So what do? Well, you hit them immediately in that February. January, you can release games in January. Obviously, Hitman is releasing. But February, obviously, Sony feels more comfortable, confident, whatever word you want to use, and that's fine. So what do? You put out Horizon right there. That is your big, big system seller going into all of 2021. That can get you a couple months of moving systems. You maybe have some smaller things here and there, and then in the fall, you hit us with the big fall exclusive. What is that? Spider-Man 2. Right? So I think they have a really solid strategy. Honestly, it's a strategy that a lot of us had predicted and kind of saw into the future with the strategy for a long time. And they're following it through. And it's good to see. I truly, truly do believe it's good to see. I want this game as a launch day exclusive. I really, really do. I truly want this game immediately. This game looks so insanely. I really can't even put into words how excited I am for this game. I want this game as soon as possible. At the same time, I don't think it's ready. I really don't think that. I think that we will start to see a lot of it very, very soon, because that'll be, again, I think we're going to see a lot of Spider-Man very soon, and then we're going to see a lot of Horizon soon. Those are going to be the two big games that they're going to push. And obviously, we thought it could have been Spider-Man 2 that they were pushing. Obviously, it's Miles Morales, which is fine. Again, I think it's going to be a really, really amazing game. So we're going to have those. They're going to be pushing them really, really hard. So we'll definitely be able to see them very soon. I can imagine those are the games they're going to really want to focus on. Hey, here's what games on the PS5 look like. Like, this is what we can do with these games. Because again, especially third parties, they're not going to be able to push the PS5 as much as exclusive, games. Those companies, those games are going to be able to push the PS5 a lot harder than third-party games, because they have to they have to make their games the lowest common denominator for all the systems that they're doing it on. So it's very exciting. I want this game right away. At the same time, I think we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer for it. And also, at the same time, I think the PS5 launch is looking a whole lot stronger than the PS4 launch did. And the PS4 launch, yeah, it wasn't very good, but there were still some gems there. And also, it didn't really need help. The system sold itself, honestly. And then really over the last, look at the history. Look at what PS4 did. The game sold insanely, insanely well. The console sold insanely well. So it didn't really need help early on. This time, it's, I think, going to have a lot more help than the PS4 did. So I'm definitely excited about it, guys. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about Horizon 2? Do you think it could be a launch day game? Do you think it's going to come out in that February? I really think it's only one of the two. It's either coming out in November or it's coming out in February. I think it would be kind of weird for it to be like a March, April game, because it's like so close to February with Horizon, the first game that came out. It'd be so close, and then it would just kind of be weird that way. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And I do a brand new video every single day, so you can always expect a new video on the next day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on tomorrow's video.